that you'd be just right for my fitness, girl. I'd walk a mile or maybe two, just for you, baby.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. Best music.
New York, I introduce the best ice cream factory located in Mount Vernon, 408 East Sanford Boulevard. Call and place your order at 914-699-1349. We also do delivery from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. We have the most Jamaican flavors: grape nut, pistachio grape nut, rum and razor, Jamaican rum and razor, sour milk ice cream, sugar-free ice cream, stout ice cream cake, peach grape nut, and more. Also check out Papa Deli's right next door. When you talk about jerk chicken, jerk pork, roast fish, fried fish, and roast corn, contact me at 914-699-0145. Also check out our juice bar with our smoothies, boosters, mash, and therapy juices. 408 East Sanford Boulevard. Ice cream, jerk chicken, roast fish and corn, and over them you gone.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's here. Have you ever experienced a bad workmanship? Someone who work at your house and you're not satisfied, but you can't find good help? Well, look no further. Quicklink Construction is a licensed general construction company that's fully insured for the 5 boroughs and the Westchester. A one-stop construction company that will cater to your needs. Experience is what counts in this business, and we have the experience for more than 35 years. So if you need a paint job, call us. If the roof is talking to you, call us. If your garage won't open, call us. If you need a new paint job, call us. If you try to do the work yourself and your wife won't talk to you, call us. 914-665-0106. Quicklink Construction. No job too big, no job too small. Just call us. 914-665-0106. 914-665-0106. We have the experience. Quicklink Construction.
Are you struggling with weight loss? We have the solution. The Gut Buster package.
It's like I couldn't come up my step without like holding on and, breathing short. Mm-hmm. And then some of my clothes, I couldn't wear them for a good time.
So you was overweight, you had no energy?
Overweight.
Gut Busters.
I gave my son some. Mm-hmm. He was losing his belly too. Mm-mm. And I mean, this gentleman, if you ever see his belly, he has no more tummy. I have none.
So your tummy's gone too?
My God.
Go, mommy.
Go, mommy. The Gut Busters. To get the Gut Buster package, 917-533-2576. 917-533-2576. Log on to www.yonniemarket.com. That's YONNIEMARKET.com.
CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Dine-in or takeout available. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. We're open Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. Sundays, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. On Fridays and Saturdays, our seafood weekend starts from 11 o'clock. Check out our extensive breakfast and lunch menu. For breakfast, we have ackee and saltfish, corned beef and cabbage, callaloo and saltfish, corned beef and macaroni, liver or kidney, curry chicken back, brown stew chicken back, cook up saltfish, salt mackerel. Also check out our lunch specials: oxtail, cow foot, stew pork, tripe and beans, stew peas, jerk pork, jerk chicken, fried chicken, stew chicken, barbecue ribs, curry chicken, curry goats, pepper steak, escovitch fish, brown stew fish, and roast fish, jerk pork with bread, jerk chicken with bread. Plus, we have catering services available. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. We also have delivery services with Uber and DoorDash. Check us out on Instagram at CB_Jerk Center. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon. Vernon,
Bird
New York.
Records presents the newly released tribute album from Keith Cole entitled Rock With Me. It's 13 tracks including the astute cover of Delroy Wilson's Who Cares? Keith Cole also sings homage to Jabi Bunny Wailer.
How does it feel to have been on the ballroom floor?
This newly released 13-track tribute album is readily available in record stores and on all digital platforms. It's the brand new album Rock With Me from Keith Cole. Pick up a copy today and help play tribute to these icons in reggae music.
Honey, you know, I just get a call from Mama again. She told me she haven't received the barrel as yet. Which shipping company do you use to send it off? You say, honey, you know you drink too much? I bet definitely your mother you'd use the right company.
Simpson's Shipping Enterprise. Weekly sailing to all destinations. In Jamaica, they go to Kingston and Montego Bay. Also ship to Europe and South America, East Africa, New Zealand, and Australia. We offer door-to-door service to Jamaica, Guyana, and England. Simpson's Shipping Enterprise, 17 Mount Vernon Avenue, New York. Telephone 914-663-9216 or 914-663-9218.
Yeah, go on like a yeah, mama. You feel me, mama? I'm going to tell you something. You see Simpson Shipping? Then go Jamaica, Kingston, and Montego Bay, all over the Caribbean Island.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music for your listening pleasure.
And you don't know what Junex I represent for Linkage Radio. 104.5 FM. I def them.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, in association with the Cargill Community Project, presents our annual Customer and Community Appreciation Day 2023 to be held at Cooler Runnings Restaurant, 1802 Nerid Avenue in the Bronx, from 12 p.m. until 7 p.m. with live broadcast on Future FM Radio 98.9 FM, music by DJ Ray Ray.
Live performances by Imani Tyson, Minister Andrea Derrett, Ras Bones, J Bez. Also 3 bands, Island Steel, Soul Jam, and Jenna Roots. Hosted by the dynamic duo, Patrick Tyson, and yours truly, Lady D, Denise Gomez.
This event is powered by Future FM Radio 98.9 FM, Gospel Showcase Radio NYC, and Inside the Zone with Lady D.
Sponsored by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, Cargill Community Project,
Bronxwood International Church of God, Dirty Gloves, CJ Robbins Real Estate, Irie Dale,
and Sheffy 2 Restaurant. Bring the family. It's Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant and Cargill Community Project Annual Customer and Community Appreciation Day on Saturday, June 10 from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Make it a date and you better not be late.
See you there. This is Lady T, Denise Gomez, host and producer of Inside the Zone in New York, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Join me on Mondays at 5 on Fit 96.7, fitfmja.com, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, for exciting features within the diaspora. And hear what's on our minds. It's live at 5 on Fit 96.7, fitfmja.com. Hi, I'm Lady D Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing? Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you. Writers, share your story, no man, in From the Author Zone on third Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Male Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a part of the show. Email me insidethezone@gmail.com or call me 914-304-2592. It's Monday, Monday, man, Chucks, Monday, Memorial Day, 17 minutes after 5 o'clock. Howdy, how are you? What's going on? What a guan? How you do? How are you doing? Monday, man. Welcome, everyone. Memorial Day. That's what we're celebrating today. It's an American holiday observed on the last Monday of May, honoring the men and women who died while serving in the U.S. military, originally known as Decoration Day. It originated in the years following the Civil War and became an official federal holiday in 1971. Many Americans observe Memorial Day by visiting cemeteries or memorials, holding family gatherings, and participating in parades. Unofficially, it marks the beginning of the summer season. Today, I'm broadcasting in your homes, your offices, your motor cars, your barber shops, your corner stores, your beauty salons, your restaurants, your delis, and on your social media platforms. What's my name? What's my name? Lady D Denise Gomez, your producer and presenter of Inside the Zone, the community platform where information is guaranteed. I'm broadcasting on Linkage Radio 101.7, 104.5 FM. I'm Also on Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, www.caribbeanvibesradio.com. Fit 96.7 FM, fitfmja.com. Your life, your music. Trelawney, Duncan's Trelawney. How you all doing? Each week I'm just bigging up my Duncans and my Trelawney people. I'm going to look at all the towns, you know, in Trelawney, and Julia could help me with that. I'm so happy to be partnering with Fit FM, and they're partnering with me. And I had a nice chit-chat on Friday morning with Julia on her show. I talk about penance. Oh, my dear penance, Clarendon, Jamaica, West Indies. Never afraid to talk about, never shame, nothing like that. I know where I come from. So how is everyone doing? I trust that you're rested, or perhaps you went to work, or you're home working because you have a lot to catch up on. And to my Jamaican people, you worked today. Some of you perhaps do have your day off too. So I'm never just going to think it's because it's Memorial Day here in the United States. Welcome to the show. ITZ, that's of course the acronym for Inside of the Zone. It's a culture-centric radio program that connects the Jamaican diaspora and international audiences globally. The show's content captures its people's social, cultural, and collective views on issues that affect their communities: family, health, finance, education, immigration, housing, wealth management, real estate, life and health insurance, and food insecurity. On Monday, catch me 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on your budding and buzzing station, 24/7, 365 days for the year, Linkage Radio. Welcome to the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. Inside the Zone is brought to you by Cooler Runnings, Jamaican restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. I light up when I talk about Cooler Runnings. Please support my sponsor and give them a call, 718-324-7484. Did you know that Fit FM 96.7 in Jamaica is running this very commercial that you hear on this station, on this program for Cooler Runnings? Yes, Julia offered, because she says people who are in Jamaica, who are tuned in to Fit FM, will say, oh, I'm coming up to the Bronx. I can stop at Cooler Runnings and support Lady D's sponsor. Isn't that nice? Thumbs up to Julia Miko Benaya. What do I have for you today? The Monday beat is coming up. We're going to chase the Monday blues out of here with Music Monday. In community and immigration updates with Lady Trudy Ann, of course, I'm going to do a rebroadcast. I gave her a day off. A rebroadcast of family green card and sponsorship. Because you must remember, not everybody tunes into the show at all times, which means I'm giving somebody an opportunity to make notes because they didn't hear this feature. What's inside the zone? So I want to say good afternoon to my friends and my family and everybody who is tuned in. Oh, okay then. Who's tuned in with me today? It's a good day, of course. What is the day called again? It's called, did you know? Anyhow, it's a good, literacy is a remarkable thing. Remarkable thing. Because I am here talking up a storm. And of course, my script is it's put together. Okay, and so I'm looking at something here. I'm like, what am I looking at? Then I'm like, oh, okay then. So, hello everybody. Okay, so as I was saying to you that we're going to have What's Inside the Zone, History of Memorial Day, a very short feature for you, keeping you in the know, an abbreviated version of keeping you in the know, because there is a clip courtesy of All Angles hosted by Dion Jackson Miller in Jamaica that I'd also like to feature for you in that segment today. And in Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking, Andrew Sharp, founder and CEO of Authentic Caribbean Foundation, Inc., out of Boston, Massachusetts. So, invite somebody now. Tell them to log on. It's Monday. They're home. They don't have a thing doing. They can tune in and spend some time with me. Let's get into the Monday beat. 25 minutes after 5 o'clock. Our telephone number here in the Linkage Radio station that you can call me. 914-600-4228. 914-600-4228. Welcome to my YouTubers. Don't forget to share the link and invite someone to pop in. Hello, Jerome. It's a pleasure having you. I saw it, Jerome. Yes, I will. So good evening. Good evening to Caribbean Vibes Radio Network CEO, Chris Wilby. Chris, you're home today. Relaxing. No work today, I hope. Just breathe, Chris. Breathe. And get yourself ready for tomorrow. Music time. It's Music Monday. Today should have been my Jazz Music Monday, but it's a holiday, you know, so we mix it up a little bit. My name is Denise. What's your name? Starting off the show with our legendary guy and recognizing him posthumously, Robert Nesta Marley, Exodus.
Let me tell you, if you're not wrong, then why?
I just love when I get a glitch because it gives me the opportunity to just say hello to everyone tuning in right now. What time is it? 29 minutes after 5 o'clock. And we are in the segment, The Monday Beat, chasing the Monday blues out of here with great music. And on the turntable, of course, is Bob Marley with Exodus. It's Memorial Day, and I hope that you have reached out to someone you know who has served, right? A veteran somewhere who is doing something, or they're a family member of yours, whatever it is, please just say hello to them and let them know that we appreciate. Such a great song. I just picture Bob Marley just sitting down and kind of penetrating, what am I going to write? What's that vision that he got, that inspiration, Man. Yes, that's how we kicked off the Monday Beat today, chasing the Monday Blues out of here with great music. And of course, I said it's Music Monday, so don't beat me. Don't beat me, So I saw this premiere with Elaine and Dexter Daps. A lot of us know Dexter from Mount Vernon. And I'm like, is this Dexter? All softy and stuff with Elaine. 9 days ago, this dropped. It says, Seat ya.
See your reality is better. When others are searching
the softer side of Dexter Daps. But we know Elaine. Welcome to the Monday Beat, everybody. Chasing the Monday blues out of here with great music on a Monday. That's what I'm talking about. And, of course, if you are just joining me, welcome. I'll be with you until 7 o'clock.
Unbreakable, we're so connected, nothing could sever. One in a billion, not gonna leave you, baby, never.
This is heaven. More than a fantasy, a reality is better. See ya. What others are searching for, we got.
It keeps getting sweeter.
Don't need to search no more.
See ya.
When I look into your eyes, you're staring back at me. You're my dreams come true to life. I found a love that is real. See ya. Just like waves to the shore, like magnets, our souls collide. No distance between us, no secrets, just you and I.
Intimacy for only your eyes. Let's make history loving each other more as time goes by.
See ya. What others are searching for,
we got.
It keeps getting sweeter.
We don't need to search no more. See it, yeah, see it, yeah, see it, yeah. When I look into your eyes, and you're staring back at me, you're my dreams come true to life. I found a love that is real. See it, yeah, see it, yeah. See it, yeah. True love, everyone can see it, yeah. No way around it. When I look into your eyes, and you stand back at me, you're my dreams come true to life. My dreams come true. I found a love that is real. See it, yeah. See it, yeah. See it, yeah. And you stand back at me. Stare back at me. You're my dreams come true to life. Oh, my dreams come true to life. Found a love that is real. We found a love that is real. So sweet. See it, see it, sweet. See it, see it. Oh, see it, yeah, see it, yeah, see it, yeah.
Elaine and Dexter Dapp, see it, yeah. I tell you, one piece of romantic thing going on there, but really nice selection. Again, that's the softer side of Dexter. I remember going to, Lord, what was it again? One of the big events in New York. So I went and wrote an article. I had to say, Lord have mercy. In the article, I had to say, listen, all the ladies who were in that event, if they could have pulled Dexter off of the stage, they would have, because they were raving and carrying on for him, and he was just entertaining them. It was something to see. So welcome. We're still in the segment, The Monday Beat, chasing the Monday blues out of here with great music. Jerome says, great selection for the day. Thank you, Jerome. I'm here to entertain, inform, educate, and laugh and chat. What can I say? Welcome to the show. It's the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know. In the city you walk, drive, and reside. It's 5:37 p.m. My final selection in the Monday Beat. Alrighty, selection coming up, not to worry, but I want to say hello to everybody this evening. Yeah, I had to go back a little bit. Richie Spice, Real Love on a Monday. Did I not say it's Music Monday? So I'm over, so up, so down, so.
Your
Alrighty, that's a wrap for the Monday Beat, chasing the Monday Blues out of here with great music. Good evening, everybody. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez, and the show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Have you stopped by lately? Have you visited lately? Have you said, you know something, let me run on over, because I hear Lady D talking about Cooler Runnings all the time, and I've never been. I'd like you to support my sponsor. They're right there on the corner of Wickham and Nereid Avenue. So I'm inviting you to, you know, stop by and say, hey, I hear it. I hear it, and I'm here to support you, Cooler Runnings, because Lady D has been on our station and she's doing a good job, so we want to support. I'd like you to support. Can you support my sponsor, please? Of course, please support. I know you will. So good afternoon, good evening, good morning, even good night, wherever you are. Right now, it's time for me to take you to, of course, What's Inside the Zone. And What's Inside the Zone this afternoon, it's a very short history feature on Memorial Day.
It's the 3-day weekend. A time for hanging at the beach, barbecuing, even catching a few laps of the Indy 500. But Memorial Day is also the most solemn American holiday, a day to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice while defending their nation. The Civil War, America's bloodiest chapter. Over 600,000 soldiers killed in action. Almost every community in every state suffered the loss of young men. As the war came to an end, mourners in both northern and southern states began placing flags and flowers on the graves of fallen soldiers. The town of Waterloo, New York is officially credited with starting the holiday. On May 5, 1866, its citizens businesses so that everyone could decorate the graves of the men killed during the war. Then an old John A. Logan was the leader of a Union Veteran Association. All the decoration services into one national holiday, designating May 30th as Decoration Day. On the first National Decoration Day,
I do apologize for the interruption. There is some challenges that we're experiencing here.
At Arlington National Cemetery, they placed flowers and ribbons on the 20,000 graves of both Union and Confederate soldiers. Two future presidents and fellow Union veterans, Ulysses Grant and James A. Garfield, attended the ceremony. Throughout the 19th century, Decoration Day grew. Ceremonies were held in major Civil War battlefields like Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and Antietam Field in Maryland. By the end of the century, the holiday was renamed Memorial Day. But war wounds ran deep. Most southern states refused to commemorate a holiday they regarded as honoring Union soldiers. So each state commemorated their war dead with different Confederate decoration days. Several southern states continue the tradition to this day. World War I ushered in the age of modern warfare. America lost over 130,000 soldiers in the global conflict. This shared experience finally bonded America's North and South. When the war ended, May 30th became a day to honor all American soldiers who died in battle as far back as the Revolutionary War. America interred its first unknown soldier in Arlington National Cemetery on Armistice Day, 1921. Every Memorial Day, this soldier and other unknown soldiers are honored with a wreath-laying ceremony.
Alrighty, it will resume in a minute because I just have a few minutes left. And right after this, I'll be taking you to immigration updates with Lady Trudy Ann.
They are reminders of all those who never made it home. Memorial Day became a federal holiday. And Congress shifted it from May 30th to the fourth Monday in May, giving federal workers a 3-day weekend. All across America, veterans and civilians still gather in parades and vigils to remember the generations who gave their lives for their nation's freedom.
Alrighty, a very short history of the holiday celebration here, history of Memorial Day. Good evening to everyone. What time is it? 5:47 p.m. And I'd just like to make a public service announcement here. There is an event coming up on the 4th of June. Caribbean American Dance Company presents 2023 Spring Jamboree, Sunday, June 4, 2023. It starts at 5:30 p.m. and it will be held at Martin Luther King School, 25 Ridgefield Street in Hartford, Connecticut. The tickets, $20 for adults and $5 for students. And you may contact Judy at 860-490-0017. That's 860-490-0017 and ask for Judy. So, Jerome, I know you have something to do with this, or you're assisting with the promotions, but yes, I think it's a good event and I like what's going on the flyer. 5:48 p.m. Hello to everyone. How are you doing? I do have some music for you before I get into, Oh, you know what? Let me just do this right now before we get into more music. It's 12 minutes to the hour of 6 o'clock. And before you know it, it will be time for me to leave at 7 o'clock. Time flies when you're having a whole lot to do. Ladies and gentlemen, last week we had such a good time with Lady Trudy Ann, and she's back this week with another informative topic here on the segment Community and Immigration Updates with Lady Trudy Ann, aired on Mondays at 5:45 p.m. on Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez, and Trudy is on the line with me. It's another Monday, Trudy. How you do?
I'm doing. How you doing?
Good. While we were chit-chatting before we came on air, you were mentioning about the challenge, or pretty much a situation that you have to work through with your students. And it dawned on me that the same thing will apply to the topic that you are presenting this evening. And that topic is family green card and sponsorship, because some amount of preparation and eligibility has to be in place before we even think of it. Isn't that so?
Oh, yes.
I tell you, life, to get into this country. So go ahead and share all the information you have about family green card and sponsorship this evening.
Based on the conversation we were having, it's always good to kind of like talk to people and get some stuff out. Mm-hmm. It clears your head, mm-hmm. and make you realize you're not crazy.
Right.
You're right. The same thing goes for this green card thing, sponsoring family members. And I want to say one thing before I even start off. People have a lot of information. And when I say that, I mean there's a lot of neighborhood village lawyers. And I'm not trying to insult anyone, because I'm sure everyone means the best. Everybody wants the document. They want to help other people. But we also need to be wary of fear mongers, right? Mm-hmm. I had a call this evening from someone, and the person called me a few months ago, and I have to repeat the same thing. And I wasn't trying to insult the person's intelligence, but what I was trying to let the person know is think for yourself. So as we begin this topic, what I want people to do is please think for yourself. Just because you may not know the immigration system 100%, it doesn't mean that you can't have common sense and know when somebody's not telling you the right thing.
Yes.
Now, when all these migrants are coming in, are being bussed into the New York, and New York just got bus full of migrants, I think yesterday or the day before.
Mm-hmm.
So the person called me and said, Miss Trudy, can I fly to Florida? Am I going to get taken off the plane? I'm like, why would you be taken off the plane?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all these migrants coming in, I'm being told not to fly to Florida. I'm like, but Florida is not another country.
Right.
Would you believe there are people in this country who thinks flying to Florida is flying to another country?
Oh, dear.
And I don't understand where they got that from.
Somebody told them that.
Yes, and this is
False
not the
information.
This is not the first person I'm hearing with it.
What?
So when I want to say, people, United States has 50 states, including Florida. Florida is not another country. Connecticut is not another country. California is 50 states. You can fly to Hawaii and Alaska. You're still in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as your passport is up to date, you can fly anywhere in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
The enhanced ID is for your driver's license, not for your passport. And that still hasn't come into play until another couple of years. So with that said, I'm going into the topic to say, people, be careful of the advice individuals are giving you. Now, of course, I'm not going to come on and give you wrong advice. And if I don't know something, I'm not going to speak it. I'm going to say, I don't know, and I'll get information and I'll come back to you.
Mm-hmm. Which is the right way.
Exactly. So as it relates to the green card, please, people, if the person was also talking about landing papers, you don't need your landing papers to fly to Florida.
Lord, landing papers was a term we know commonly used for going to Canada, not for the US.
That's the I-94.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So people, when the only way the landing papers matter is when you're coming across the border. Right? If you don't have your landing papers, you're going to need a waiver when somebody's filing for the green card for you. However, to file for the waiver for you, you need to have some connection to the United States that says if you leave the country, it will provide undue hardship to your family member that's being left behind in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you come across the border, don't mean you're going to automatically get the waiver unless you're filing for asylum, and you'll need to file for asylum, I think, within the first year or two that you come into the States, not 2-3 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So as it relates to filing for your family member, if you are a green card holder here in the United States and your family member is outside of the country, you can file for their green, you can sponsor them.
Yes.
Now in another episode, we'll talk about the time frame for filing for for certain family members.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But in this one, we're just going to talk about your eligibility in filing for family members.
Okay.
The only family member you cannot sponsor if they're in the United States is your sibling and your child that's 21 and over.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only two people you cannot sponsor if they're in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
All other family members, if they're in the United States, that is spouse and a child under 21, your mother and your father, and you have to be a United States citizen.
Right. So could you repeat
Could
you repeat the first part about filing for a child over 21 if they're here?
You cannot file for a child over 21 if they're in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless if you're a citizen or a green card holder, that child is now considered an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So what many people do, you get married. Don't go say Miss Trudy and say, let's go get married. No. Do not call me name in that one.
Right.
But
yes.
So if your child is 21 and over and is in this country, unfortunately, you, the parent, nor the sibling can file for that child. That child would now have to get married if they find somebody who they fall in love with. And of
Right.
course, I'm encouraging bona fide marriages. I'm not encouraging no business marriage. No
Mm-hmm.
can't go say Miss Trudy, so I must go get married for get the papers.
Mm-hmm.
But if that child is outside of the United States, you
Yes.
can
Can't
file for
file for
that
them.
child.
Right.
So the law is kind of tricky, right? And it kind of makes sense. If they're here in the United States, you have to be a citizen. And if
Mm-hmm.
they're here, they're an adult,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you
Yeah.
can't file for them. But if they're under 21, you can file for them, but you need to be a citizen. So bottom line is, any family member that's in the United States, under 21, spouse, parent,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be a United States citizen for them to adjust status.
Right.
If they're outside of the country and you're a green card holder, yes, by all means, you can file for them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I tell you, the variables involved in this whole immigration process, it is so far,
Mm-hmm.
and in between, as we use the term, the term is commonly used, because last week we alluded to the fact that fine, if your papers were filed for back in 1970, there are so many changes that have occurred over
Yes.
time that you can't tell somebody, when I did come here in 1970, and
Mm-hmm.
you're laying out that whole scenario, it not doesn't apply. The laws have changed, and that is why I'm so appreciative, Trudy, that you have agreed to do this with me for informational purposes. That is crucial to this kind of transaction and many others,
Most
because
definitely, yeah.
people think they know, but they really don't know.
And the problem is that we find individuals, and let's call a spade a spade. Not many people are not there's a lot of people who are not very educated,
Yes.
right? And when I say educated, but not necessarily mean for go to school,
Mm-hmm.
right? But there are a lot of people who are not educated in terms of they don't read, they don't understand, they don't learn.
Mm-hmm.
They hear this from one man down the road, they hear this from another somebody over there, so, and
Mm-hmm.
then piece it together, and then them come with it as if it is the gospel truth.
Right.
And the sad thing is, people are listening and believing.
Mm.
No, Manasa, there are people who not gonna tell the truth. Yes, there are people who know it because they have sense and they think and they can analyze. But
Mm-hmm.
more often than not, people are getting the wrong information from the wrong people.
People.
Like the person who called me today and asked me again if you need landing papers. Somebody said that she need landing papers to go to Florida. I
Yes.
said to her, Miss, I'm not trying to insult your intelligence, but think about it. Is Florida another country?
Hmm.
Why would you listen to somebody who's telling you need landing papers to go to Florida when Florida is not another country? So, people, if you're listening to this,
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so that's a wrap. As you can see, I'm having a bit of a moment. But anyway, I'd like to thank Trudy. We had to do a rebroadcast just now, so it's holiday. I gave her the day off. But certainly we'll be back next week with a new topic for you in the segment Community and Immigration Updates with Lady Trudy Ann. 6 o'clock, man, we got an hour. Just like that. But you've got music so far. You've got a little history on Memorial Day. And now it's in the news segment. And at 6:30 p.m., I'll be having a discussion. But before I get into that, let me do a quick promo for you. So Brata, the Brata folk singers in concert, and it's dubbed Caribbean Blend. This takes place in the Bronx on Sunday, June 4th. At the Bronx Bethany Church of the Nazarene, 971 East to 27th Street, and it starts at 7 p.m. Now, advance tickets, $25. They say until June 2, and after June 2, then it's adults $30 at the door, students $20 at the door. I'm going to be going because I love Brata. I think Andrew and his team are just phenomenal. So I'm hoping to be there and to enjoy
that evening of music and, all that they do with Jamaican culture. So please take a note of that. Of course, I'll be mentioning that and the other event that will be taking place in Connecticut. Welcome, everyone. 6 o'clock. And it's now time for me to give you a little bit of news. Nothing heavy today, but there's a particular interview that I'd like to also air for you, because there is a big debate thing, as you and I know, going on over the salary increases and all that. I just wanted you to hear this discussion if you have not already done so, but whether or not, for you to hear, what's going on in Jamaica and decisions and implementations and policies and all of that. So stick and stay with me. Don't go anywhere. Just a quick headline here for you. Here in the Bronx, police say a 3-month-old baby was found dead alongside the Major Deegan Expressway on Sunday night. According to police, the baby has been identified as Genevieve Cornager. News 12 has learned the baby lived with her family inside the University Family Residence shelter on University Avenue. Police say they located the baby in the wooded area near West 161st Street and the Major Deegan Expressway. The investigation took place after a family member called for a wellness check. News 12 has been told the parents of the baby told police where to find her body. The parents, who are 21 and 23 years old, are being questioned in connection to the death of their daughter. There is no word on the cause of death. This headline here, when I read it, I said, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Something caused this to happen. And I don't know. 21 and 23. When I was growing up, I have an aunt. She got married at 20 and her husband 22. But those two people, they had gone through school, started working, and were very responsible. My aunt, as long as I've known her, she has just had this responsibility streak, a sense of awareness and knowing how to manage her money and her life. So did her husband. But I am thinking that there must have been an argument or something. So I'm waiting. I cannot speak too much more into it, but I found it very, very alarming that something like this could have happened. Something like this. And I'm sure you've perhaps seen it on the news. But man, it's troubling. Very, very concerning. Because they left the baby's body into this wooded area here by the Major Deegan. Who knows these things? Boy, I tell you. 6 minutes after 6 o'clock, so that's one headline that I'd like to share with you. Then I'd also like to share, and I'm hoping I'll be able to do this without any challenges technically. But recently, as you know, in Jamaica, politicians were getting raises and all of that. And it was a big hoorah. And everybody has something to say. So I'm going to air an interview with TVJ's All Angles, Dion Jackson Miller, speaking with the Minister of Finance, Nigel Clark.
Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of All Angles. I'm Dion Jackson Miller, and in today's program, widespread outrage after Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark announced increased salaries for parliamentarians yesterday. He's in studio with me. We'll be talking to him about that. But before that, Andrea Chisholm has this overview to remind you of the numbers.
The biggest salary increase will go to Prime Minister Andrew Holness. In 2021, his salary was roughly $9.2 million per year, plus a telephone allowance. As of April 2022, it jumps to over $22.3 million. For April 2023, it moves to roughly $25.3 million. And by April 2024, another increase to almost $28.6 million. For the Deputy Prime Minister, the salary was over $8 million for the year, and now it moves to over $20 million in year 1, over $22.7 million in year 2, and over $25.7 in year 3. For Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark, his salary was over $7.4 million for the year, plus the telephone allowance and housing of roughly $285,000. The new salary, over $19 million in year 1, over $21.7 million in year 2, and roughly $24.6 million in year 3. Now to Opposition Leader Mark Golding. He also got the housing and telephone allowances, and the April 2021 salary was over $8 million for the year. As of April 2022, he will get over $20 million. In April 2023, over $22.7 million, and by April 2024, over $25.7 million. A cabinet minister's salary was roughly $6.9 million for the year. In year 1, it is close to $17.9 million, then over $20.2 million, then close to $23 million. Now to the Speaker of the House. The salary was close to $6.9 million. In April 2022, it will move to close to $17.9 million for the year, then to over $20.2 million, then close to $23 million. For a Minister of State, the old salary was over $6 million for the year. It now moves to over $14.2 million, then over $16.1 and close to $18.3 million. A regular parliamentarian would make over $4.3 million for the year in salary. It will now move to over $11 million in year 1, then over $12.5 million and over $14.2 million.
All right. Thanks as always, Andrea. And Minister, the Advocates Network has called the increases unacceptable, unconscionable, and unfair. There's been, as I mentioned, wide-scale outrage. Let me just share just a few social media comments. They're wholly. Gerald says disproportionate compared to what civil servants got, very self-serving. Kigon says, I don't see the justification for MPs to get such high pay. It makes sense that cabinet members get paid similar to senior executives, but only if they satisfy similar requirements. And Fefen says the percentage increase should match what the civil servants got. Even then, I'd say a current government would use a median, the average of the lowest and the highest. It would show solidarity with the people you're taxing. We spoke 24 hours ago, and you were saying you thought if people understood the background, then they would be accepting of the increases. So 24 hours later, have you been surprised at the level of outrage and anger?
Well, Dan, some of the comments that you have just shared sort of demonstrate that some of the information that we're trying to provide has not necessarily seeped in. And I would want to just start this evening by just making sure we're on the same page as far as information is concerned. What you describe as increases for parliamentarians and ministers has happened in the context of a broad public sector restructuring, compensation restructuring, where that was evidence-based and market-led. And across the public service, one of the common things that we found was that the leadership across the public service, or the compensation in leadership areas, was extremely far from comparators in Jamaica. We're not talking about externally. And what the compensation restructuring was able to achieve, and it's a restructuring, it's not an increase. In a salary increase, everybody gets the same thing. It's a restructuring, it's recomposing compensation in a way that allows us to attract and retain. And for the leadership across the public service, we had adjustments to compensation that were significant. I just want to share a few of them with you. Just give me a minute or two.
Minute.
Well, I can do it in a minute. All right, 1 minute. So here we have the salary adjustments in the teaching profession. For principals of the largest secondary schools, they were paid at 2.9 million to 3.4 million. As of April 1st, 2023, they're at 8.5 to 10.9. For principals of the smallest secondary schools, 2.2 to 2.6 to 5.6 to 7.2. For principals of the largest primary schools, from 2.4, let's just look at the starting, 2.4 to 7. For principals of the smallest primary schools, from 1.7 to 5.6. And
I'm
that's just
actually glad you brought that up, because I remember you making that point during the negotiations, but it sounds to me as if you hadn't picked up or you don't understand that there is significant, I'm referring to that, that there is in fact significant anger within those sectors as well, because of what is seen as a huge disparity in what the people at the top have got compared to the people lower down.
Absolutely. And I can address that. I can address that, but allow me to present.
Point doesn't appease anybody who is upset at the parliamentarian salaries.
Unless you don't understand the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that the adjustments in salaries for parliamentarians and ministers occurs in the context of adjustments to salaries for the leadership levels across the public sector.
I understand.
And then we can,
the point I was making, though, is that the concern is that those adjustments as a whole were inequitable in relation to what is now the gap between the leadership and the rest of the
once I present it, I'd love to have a chance to address that. In the nursing profession, I'm having the two top levels. The same if you were to go with the top 3 or top 4 out of 8. The persons were at 3.5 to 4.2 million, and now at 9.2 to 10 million. The level 7 from 3 to 3.6, now at 8.2 to 9.5 million.
Minister, you're not comparing, as a colleague of mine likes to say, mangoes and mangoes. You're not, because what you're doing is showing us, for instance, you're showing us nurses, you're showing us teachers, you're going to show us lawyers in a moment, you're probably going to show us judges, you're going to show us what else you have. And the concern is that you are showing us the salaries of highly qualified professionals, and you're comparing it to cabinet ministers.
Allow me to show it. You told me you'd give me a minute to show it. So allow me to show it and then ask me the questions. No, man. No, I just could show all of them.
You don't have to go through
legal officers 4.9 to 10 and 4.1 to 10. You don't have to go through
all of that to make your point. I understand the point you're making, that there has been...
I just have 2 more.
No,
it's not for you. It's for your watchers.
You're making the same point over and over.
It's across the public service. And you're showing
and I understand that. So we don't have to look at 10 billboards
medical doctors,
to understand.
No, I have one more. Medical doctors went from 3 million to 8.2, 2.6 to 7.3, 2.2 to 6.3. And I have to show you the civil service.
No, you don't. Let's go to the break. We'll soon come.
So that was just a short snippet of that interview that Dion Jackson Miller had with Minister Nigel Clarke. The numbers are alarming. I have personally not taken up this conversation because I don't have, how should I put it? I don't have the full understanding of how they quantified these salaries. He had, if you notice, there was some audio interruptions there because he had pulled out his billboard of showing the comparison with the salaries for the nurses and so on. And Dion is saying that not interest me right now. We need to know why the significant increase. And the nation has cried out, but I don't think anything is going to come of the cry, personally, unless they're going to shut the nation down. It's going to happen. That's my thing. In another clip, she had also read the comparison between what the ministers were getting in Barbados and Bahamas, and it was way lower, way lower. The nation will continue to cry out for injustice. They'll continue to bawl that poor people will always suffer if these things continue. They'll always, because when they think of these things, you don't know who is sitting. When they sit at a table and they said they're going to give an increase. Recently, you recall the teachers? The teachers were disgruntled based on what they were getting. So if they're hearing all these kind of 20-odd million and all those numbers and how much more million they're going to get on top of the 20-odd million, it's going to trigger a very contentious debate. It's hard. Time hard when people hear numbers like that. It doesn't help. It does not help. So that's my abbreviated version today because it's Memorial Day of keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. It's 19 minutes after 6 o'clock. I'd like to welcome everyone to the program today if you're just tuning in.
Cooler Runnings Restaurant, in association with the Cargill Community Project, presents our annual Customer and Community Appreciation Day 2023 to be held at Cooler Runnings Restaurant, 1802 Nearwood Avenue in the Bronx, from 12 p.m. until 7 p.m. with live broadcast on Future FM Radio 98.9 FM, music by DJ Ray Ray.
Live performances by Imani Tyson, Minister Andrea Derrett, Ras Bones, Jabez. Also 3 bands, Island Steel, Soul Jam, and Jenna Roots. Hosted by the dynamic duo, Patrick Tyson and yours truly, Lady D, Denise Gomez.
This event is powered by Future FM Radio 98.9 FM, Gospel Showcase Radio NYC, and Inside the Zone with Lady D.
Sponsored by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, Cargill Community Project,
Bronxwood International Church of God, Dirty Gloves, CJ Robbins Real Estate, Irie Dale,
and Sheffy 2 Restaurant. Bring the family. It's Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant and Cargill Community Project Annual Customer and Community Appreciation Day on Saturday, June 10 from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Make it a date and you better not be late.
See you there.
And I'd like to welcome you back to the show, The Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city. You walk, drive, and reside. Stay with me. Don't go anywhere.
This is Lady D, Denise Gomez, host and producer of Inside the Zone in New York, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Join me on Mondays at 5 on Fit 96.7, fitfmja.com, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, for exciting features within the diaspora. And hear what's on our minds. It's live at 5 on Fit 96.7, fitfmja.com. The Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. I apologize to my caller. You called during the commercial break. You may give me a call back, 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228. At 6:30 p.m. will be my interview with Andrew. I tell you, Andrew, when I read about what Andrew is doing, I'm like, there are some remarkable Jamaicans who are touching the lives of so many people. So stay with me. Andrew Sharp comes up at 6:30, 914-600-4228 if you'd like to give me a call. Until then, I do have some more music for you.
Don't sleep, wake up.
Music Monday. It's Memorial Day, everybody. Good afternoon to you. Hello? Hello? All right, you may give me a call back.
So far, so good. Let me see you. Oh, lo, lo, lo. Let me see you. Oh, lo, lo, lo. Bukao. Let me see you. De buga. Oh, lo, lo, lo. Let me see you. Oh, lo, lo, lo. Bukao. Let me see you. De buga. Oh, lo, lo, lo. Let me see you. Oh, lo, lo, lo. Bukao. Let me see you. De buga. Oh, lo, lo, lo. Let me see you. Oh, lo, lo, lo.
you know, just as I was enjoying Kiss Daniel, Techno Booga. So I spent the time to figure out what this song is saying, what it means, because I don't like to play what I don't know, you know. Not at all. I'll give you in a minute.
Try. You're supposed to define.
All right. I love the Afrobeats. I tell you, I think they are just amazing and creative. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, our telephone number is 914-600-4228. It's my Music Monday. And of course, I Looking forward to having a conversation at 6:26 with Andrew Sharp. Let's see who wants to talk to me this afternoon. Good evening.
Top of the evening to you, my queen.
Yes, King. How are you?
Life is good. It's a beautiful evening.
I'm telling you.
Then, queen, may I ask something, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Where the people, where them paycheck come from? It come from the taxes of the country, or it come from one country of Europe? They pay them. Where see the government of Jamaica paycheck come from? Because if it's a poor country and one person want to come out, one person alone in the cabinet are going with 30 million Jamaican dollar.
Ryan.
And then on top of that, housing money. Then me ask a question: How much can the country afford that?
They seem to be of that view that it's affordable and that it's due to them, and that they had not gotten any increase for some time. It's such a Ryan. I'm telling you, it's a very difficult topic, and I think what angered the people, I don't even know if it would have made a difference, but it seemed, it was not introduced in a timely manner, and so you thrust it on the nation like that in Parliament, and everybody is shocked and saying, "What?" No timely explanation is given, nothing like that, to sensitize the people. Because, some of us don't read well. Some of us don't know anything about how these people are paid. Some people are just not informed like that. So if you just push something down their throats, they're going to choke. And regurgitation is going to take place.
Because based on all of the raises where they go, at the end of the day, everybody that go up in the 30 million. At the end of the day, that's what each person go take home. So we want to know the total payroll per month for the government of the poor country like Jamaica. So the people are just working and paying taxes just to pay the government.
Mm-hmm.
So after the government take out and payroll out of it, is what left goes to police and the fireman and the nurse.
Yes.
And then whatsoever left out of those staff rank go down to poor teacher. And then forget about postmistress and all them other police. Because everything go from prime minister downward to the lowest of the lowest.
Mm-hmm.
So can you imagine Miss Matty who they run the post office in a Mount Rasa? God bless so much she go home with.
Yeah.
And after all of these little civil servants retire, can you imagine how much they are going on with? And by the time them get that retirement little money, Queen, inflation takes a grade, the US dollar gonna $50 to one. That don't have nothing to do with the poor people. Them can't buy bread.
I know. But guess what? I would love to discuss it further with you, but I know that my guest will be calling soon. Thanks so much always, King.
Take your line.
All right.
No problem.
Bye-bye. Alrighty, yes, it's a lot of people are concerned about all of what's going on. But, my thing is we keep moving, because if you don't, you're just going to get yourself all stressed. But it's our nation, and we are concerned. Very concerned. So welcome. It's the Monday Drive. Music Monday on Vibes, taking you back a bit. Welcome to Inside the Zone.
Good evening, Lady D.
My dear young lady, I'm not going to be able to talk to you because my guest is calling me right now. So we're good.
Okay, ma'am.
All right, love.
Have a blessed evening.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, he's going to have to give me a call back. Tony. Good evening. Welcome to the Monday Drive. Hello.
Lady, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you, Andrew?
Yes, I'm doing extremely well.
Good.
I'm glad for the holiday, Memorial.
Sure. So you've been relaxing all day?
Not really, the work never done.
You did.
So I did a little bit of work, but then also relax.
Oh, so relax. Well, it's a pleasure having you, Andrew Sharp. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the segment Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. And my guest this afternoon is Andrew Sharp. He's the founder and CEO of Authentic Caribbean Foundation, Inc. They're based in Boston, in Massachusetts. He's a Jamaican-born festival, tourism, radio, and talk show host and nonprofit professional. And I'll leave it right there because we start our conversation right now. Would you like to say your hellos before we start, Andrew?
Absolutely. Thank you, Lady D. I want to say hello to all my family members listening. And also, I must shout out the Jamaica Diaspora Northeast and my committee members who are listening. And everyone around the world who is listening to your program. Big up.
Big up. Thank you, Andrew. I read your bio, quite concise, and I said to myself, what would the Commonwealth of Massachusetts do without you? You are an amazing person. And how long have you been there?
Well, I've been here in Mass for over 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And enjoying it. I mean, a lot of people might say Massachusetts is cold, up here it's cold, but, we can bear the cold and the snow.
Yes.
Especially for good health care and a good education that the states provide for us.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for that. I've been to Massachusetts several times. I've had the pleasure of experiencing the snow, how many inches high and caught in the middle of it. So I know exactly what you're talking about. But let's move on because you are the CEO of Authentic Caribbean Foundation, Inc. in Boston. What is it and what are its functions? Tell us.
Thank you so much. So the Authentic Caribbean Foundation, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And why we say 501c3? Because we're tax exempt.
Mm-hmm.
So without a 501c3, you're not able to get any donations because it's a tax deductible for anyone who donates to the foundation who is an American citizen or a green card holder. We are specialized in kids with disability through health and education. And when we said health, we mean these kids might need walkers, wheelchairs, and pediatric equipment. So we try our best to ensure that we provide support to those kids. And then through education is our programs. We have a Kids for Arts, which we encourage, including persons with disability and kids with disability, to embrace the culture where they're from. And so we offer a lot of different programming, which we'll talk more further down in the program.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the learning disability, which, we ensure that every child each year, we supply them with the backpacks and the school supplies. Mm-hmm. And we also donate books and educational toys so that they can learn in different forms.
Right.
And also we don't forget the teachers. So, kids with disability, how are you going to handle them? How are you going to create an inclusive classroom training And that's what we've been doing, is to train teachers to have a neurodiverse and inclusive classroom training for autism, dyslexia, and ADHD. And, we expand on other training, mental health, first aid, coding, and many other training, because we never stop learning. And that's what I loved about maths. When I came here, I was able to enroll into many workshops. I had the privilege of attending a Harvard leadership workshop, free of cost. So, we based it on the learning, learning disability, where they can learn and also support the caregivers and those teachers.
Oh, thank you so much for what you're doing along with your team, because you remember the days when if it was realized that a child had some kind of disability, they would have become the outcast of a community.
Right.
It's either they were sent away because the family, they were embarrassed that here is a child born within a family. There was no empathy, no grace, no understanding. So we really have come a long way. And your foundation is on top of that. Thank you, Andrew. We thank you for that, because it's so well needed. And we've seen how children who are autistic, the high functioning ones, so we've also learned, that there are so many variations to this form of disability.
Yes,
but they don't have to be an outcast.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct, Lady B. One of the things, too, we always stress also is policies. It's important that we have these policies in place. One prime example is the Disability Act, and that's something that we've been pushing. We know in the United States, the American Disability Act just came about recently. I would say that it hasn't been around that long. When we say recent, over 10 years, that's really recent. So we talk about a long time, about 20 years or so, it should be in effect, but it hasn't. Same thing with Jamaica, it just implemented it, gazetted, and now into law, the Disability Act. There are some islands that don't even have a Disability Act. Some countries that doesn't. So to change the policies and implement policies are very important, so it can guide us and bring up our standards to the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. And the 23rd the Jamaica goal that, so we've been looking at policies to advocate and advance the interests of persons with disability.
Thank you so much. If you're just joining us, welcome to Voices. My guest is Andrew Sharp. He's the founder and CEO of Authentic Caribbean Foundation, Inc., based in Boston, Massachusetts. And so he just highlighted what the foundation is doing. And I'm sure there are persons who are listening who are saying, oh my God, there are people out there, Jamaicans out there from the Jamaican diaspora who are doing exceptionally well to the benefit of their people. Now, your impressive resume includes host of festivals, tourism, and a radio talk show, Caribbean and Diaspora Connect. So tell us now about the impact all of what you're doing, including the radio talk show, is making.
Yes, Lady D. One of the things I always said, and I keep saying it, having a seat at the table is important. When I came to Mass, I realized there wasn't a lot, or a lot of it was hidden, where we needed to highlight the Caribbean American community. And I think through the Census 2020 that we had worked on, we were able to know where our Caribbean folks are and, how can we serve them. So that's why I came about when I realized there was only Carnival. I decided to do additional festivals that would be able to bring in revenue for the work that we're doing, and also to highlight our vast culture aspect, and also to incorporate our Kids for Arts program. One prime example is that we're teaching the maypole in the primary school, first grade and second grade kids. are learning the maypole, and then they perform it at the event. So, you know, it's a win-win situation with our program being highlighted there. Tourism, we're ambassador for whichever country we represent. And by being that ambassador, we're able to, you know, display. I know when I go to different health events, I'm always having my Jamaica Tourist Board brochure on my desk, thanks to the Jamaica Tourist Board, who has always supported the diaspora. And also the talk show radio, we also have to communicate.
Yes.
We have to disseminate
information.
And a lot of our people need that information. They are so busy from one work to the other. So to be able to be the voice of the Caribbean American community through those platforms,
yes,
we have empowered them, empowered the people, and also to disseminate information. And we just keep on doing more and more and pushing for more for our Caribbean American community through these platforms.
As a child growing up, many of us were so in awe when we would see the ads on our television sets about Jamaica through the tourism sector and the Jamaica Tourist Board, and we would love people at that time to just come and experience the thrill of what our nation or island has to offer. Its people, its food, its culture, etc. And we are doing that here through foundations like yours and the access that you have to a platform where thousands of people can hear you talking about what Jamaica has to offer. I think that's amazing, which is why when you said something that it's good to have a seat at the table, but my pastor had once said publicly that if you don't make yourselves visible, no one will see you. And if you get a seat at the platform, make sure you say something, because you can sit at a table, Andrew, and not a word come out of you. Nobody will remember you because you didn't say anything. So you continue to make your voice heard and to implement things that are affecting people's lives. So again, kudos to you and everybody who is a part of it. Now, I love your inclusivity, particularly for children, with picnic time, story time. It reminds me of Ring Ding with Miss Lou. Talk about that.
Absolutely. From small, I love Miss Lou. I read so much about Miss Lou. I was able to meet Miss Lou before she left us. And I wanted to think, and thanks to Miranda, my Trinidadian counterpart too, who had something similar, and I decided to put a spin to it. And we collaborated and came about with Picnic Time, Story Time, which one, we highlight Caribbean culture right across the Caribbean. So, for instance, World Creole Day, Jazz, Reggae Month, those stuff the kids are able to learn about. Then we feature America holidays and things that are happening. Then we have authors, children book authors come on and read to the kids. And last but least, we never excluded the disability kids. We always have a topic on them. We either talk about ASL, we talk about someone we bring in someone in the wheelchair.
Right.
So sign language, we have Leonard Johnson, who is part of my team. He's from Community for the Deaf, so he signs so the kids can understand to appreciate everyone is included, and they have a great time listening to and participating, because we also bring in the steel drum, we bring in the drummers, we bring in steel pan music, various forms, so they're involved, not just staring at the computer, but participating
doing something. And that's what I love, is that you include children, because they are people too, and they should be a part of everything that we do. Now let's talk about your passion for theater And please do not leave anything out because you have my Caribbean One World Expo, Caribbean Rum and Food Festival, Afro-Caribbean Black History Gala, and a whole lot of stuff going on. Andrew.
Yes, the My Caribbean One World is the baby of it that has grown out to a big man. 10 years in the making with attracting over 15,000 visitors with over 40 vendors. Right downtown Boston, again, to be one of the only Caribbean event that happens downtown on the Greenway, Rose Kennedy Greenway, to a large audience of New Englanders. People from Maine come down to see it. And this year we have several performers, Latin band, reggae band, and different artists we bring on. Especially this year we bring in Richie Stevens, who is going to be performing there. So we inculcate both the culture, and also we highlight what the foundation is doing, and we're doing a lot of fundraising, like the gala. This year we brought together all the Caribbean national, never happened before, where we had every island represented at the gala. We had 350 persons in attendance.
Wow.
And what we did, we highlighted some of the folks that have been doing business and doing great work in Massachusetts for some of them over 50 years, and they have not been recognized. So every year we highlight someone. We look at who can we highlight in the community who is doing great work, whether it's a hairdresser or a busman or a restaurant, anyone who's been doing great work and people recommend, and it makes them empower people. So that's what the gala does, and that brings in funds for our back to school drive and many other work. Rum and Food Festival, it's becoming a hit that even Hartford, Connecticut requested to have it this year in Hartford. So nothing is nice like our product, Caribbean product, which I'm a big advocate for getting our products over here. When we look at 100%, we only had 40% of our products in the New England market. And I've always been pushing and stressing, we got to get our product over here because Massachusetts have over 300,000 Caribbean Americans living in this state. And if you combine the entire Northeast, it's a large number, but, our products are very limited. So I always encourage that. And that's why I use rum, because everybody loves rum. Rum can make different kind of concoction, from the cocktails to the rum punch. And we really display all the Caribbean rum. So you could get a Clement from Martinique, or you can get a Moguet from Barbados, a Appleton from Jamaica. So we Blue Curacao from Curacao, and all of those various islands that have their own rum. And back then, that's what made us with the plantation. And we just want to highlight those products and increase the GDP by more exports of our products into the United States.
Well, I'm telling you, you're doing great things over there in Massachusetts. And, those of us here over in New York, we are already doing what we do, but we are centralized. And so when we hear about what's going on in another state, then we say, yes, we are right high, we do good, And I know it's a lot of work. Sometimes people see us doing things and they say, boy, me could I do that too, not realizing that it takes a lot of brainstorming, a lot of meetings. Sometimes you don't even want to go, but you have to go because you start something. And continuity, consistency is so important, because we've seen people rise up and then they just fade away. But you have been going and spearheading, and with the support, we just want to say thanks. And I have to say big up to Michelle Tullanil, who has now taken over from Dr. Dunkley, and I know the support is going to still be there with her, and she's going to be with me next week, Monday. So we'll be talking
Great.
about, yes, great things are happening. And again, you have to make yourself visible, because that's how I'm able to have people like you, because I'm connecting with so many people to make it happen. So finally now, Andrew, what is your message to Jamaicans?
Well, we have to empower ourselves. We have June. For those here in the diaspora, we have June, which is National Caribbean American Heritage Month. And it's really a gift for us, like many other months, like the Hispanic months, but we have our own month that we can uplift ourselves and look at those who have been achieving. One prime example is Cheryl Lee Ralph. So I encourage Jamaican, the sky is the limit. No time to relax, toil and look at ways in which you can share the love, help a brother. Always spread the word of love and teamwork. That love, as the Bible says, love covers a multitude of sins.
Yes.
And we must love each other, and that's how we'll take care of each other. That's the love is missing from the world. And also teamwork, collaboration. You'll be surprised the amount of collaboration we've been doing instead of reinventing the wheel.
Yes.
So, and think out of the box. Think out of the box. COVID has taught us it's a new direction we're heading, not the same old, same old. So we really, really want to encourage Jamaicans to, look and read and look at policies and advocate when things are not happening. I heard you talk about the salary increase. Learn more about it, and then you can advocate more on policies, important and good governance. So it's a pleasure, Lady D, to be on your program, and I want to just say we're so happy that we have a strong Jamaica diaspora. And here in Massachusetts is very predominant. Over 50,000 Jamaicans living here. And we have a strong Jamaica Association that we're putting Jamaica on top where it's supposed to be. We're the trendsetters.
That's right.
And we want to make sure that Massachusetts is not left out. Sometimes people forget about Mass, but I tell them this is the best state. I always argue with a lot of people, but there's no state like Massachusetts.
Yes, Master, you big up your state there. So we have a final segment. It's a fun segment, and this is where we end the show. But one word answers. I'll say a word to you. You respond with one word. Not another, but one, Andrew. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So the first one is not one word. It's one word in response for you, but not for me. Authentic Caribbean Foundation, Inc.
Non-profit organization.
Lord. All right. Fine. I'll take that. But going forward, one word only. Second one, philanthropy.
Giving.
Disabled.
Accessibility.
Children.
Future.
Jamaican.
To the world. I had to put the two words.
Lord, diaspora.
Movement.
Massachusetts.
Love.
Family.
Community.
Theater.
Performance.
Radio.
Broadcast.
And finally, Andrew Sharp.
Unique.
Sure. All right, man. You did well.
That's authentic.
True. Thank you so much, Andrew Sharp. You were awesome, and we learned so much about what's going on in Massachusetts. It's
Yes, thank you, Lady. And they can find us on social media platform, Lady D.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All
they
right.
could find us on social media platform, and any help they need, we know we're working with the community to provide support, and we're looking forward to expanding more backpacks to the schools in the rural areas and so forth.
All righty. Thank you so much for joining me on Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. Walk good, Andrew.
Same to you.
Oh.
And make good doctors follow you.
The same thing then now. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay, that was good. Awesome. You see how Jamaicans, I'm just saying, you know, just saying, Jamaicans. You think we're not out there doing stuff? We are. Winding down now. It's 3 minutes to 7 o'clock, and I'll be closing the show. And want to say thanks to Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, Chris Wilby, for always airing the program on his platform, Fit FM 96.7, fitfmja.com. Julia Mikkel Benaya, thank you for airing the program. And when it's 6 o'clock, it's 5 o'clock for them. So when you hear the ad saying at 5, because we're an hour ahead. So this week's program, they'll be airing it next week. When we move back the time and we're both on the same time, then we'll be live in Jamaica. So to all the people in Duncan's Trelawney, I hope you'll be enjoying the show, because we're doing so much for you, so you can say, man, me people over foreign, them a do good, you know, them a do good. Want to say thanks to Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Narita Avenue in the Bronx, for sponsoring the show. And to you, my listeners, thank you. I came to spend time on Memorial Day with you, and now I'm going to me yard. Me a go on up, me a come galang up, me a go up. I said that to Auntie Daphne yesterday, and you know she laughed. Auntie Daphne laughed when I said that to her yesterday. Oh, my goodness. But I want to say thanks to everyone for tuning in. So I'll be back, God willing, on Thursday to do it all over with Center Stage on Thursday. So blessings, everybody. May I come go up now. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'm out of here.
www.djshinsky.com. Taking you back with the hottest throwback hits. It's DJ Shinsky live in the mix.
DJ Shinsky.
Mr. Vibes on Vibes.
Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Best music.
New York, I introduce the best ice cream factory located in Mount Vernon, 408 East Sanford Boulevard. Call and place your order at 914-699-13.